Hello, I'm Cindy Allen Stuckey, and welcome to another Shift Café. My book, The Shift Café, Where Women Who Drink Coffee Together Change the World, will be released in a few days on June 23rd. Now, we often fall into the trap of letting ourselves go once we reach a certain age, whether we think I'm done or whether society is done with us. And in doing this, we shortchange ourselves. So in the Shift Cafe, we talk about the 4 most common reasons for not stepping into the power of your potential. We call these reasons between the sips. So today, I'm thrilled to have Jonathan Ispell with me to talk about his between the sip self-care. So welcome, Jonathan.
Hello.
Okay. So what inspired you, Jonathan, to become so interested in self-care and especially food?
Yeah, so with self-care itself, I observe people and I love people. And whenever people don't take care of themselves, I always try to help people really enforce their own encouraging their self-care. Because I think, like you were saying, we oftentimes discount ourselves or we shortchange ourselves, thinking that either society's done with us or that we're not enough in different areas of life. And whenever we neglect ourselves, it really impacts all of the rest of our lives. It affects our work, it affects our family, our friends. But if we can strengthen ourselves and support ourselves the best, then we actually can show up in the rest of our life and be our best self. And so I really started to think about how food impacts self-care, because food is one of those things that connects us as people. And we all participate in food, right? Everybody eats. And everybody has a different opinion around food as well. But it's one of those things that it's a requirement for us to live. And so it is an actual aspect of self-care. It is how we nourish ourselves. It's how we give ourselves the ability to show up in life, to nourish ourselves with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's one of those things where it can be stressful for some people. It can be delightful for others. The kind of stereotypical like food and travel scene, whenever people go to different locations and they like to wine and dine themselves and enjoy the ambiance of it. So it is one of those things that can be very nourishing for us, both physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Okay. And I think in answering, you answered my second question. So I'm going to jump down to another question. So in the Shift Cafe, we define the word shift as a conscious movement away from aspects of your life that no longer serve you. Welcome the enhancements and experiences and feelings that do. So, it seems so complicated. Let's be real, so complicated to eat right. And there's so many things I have to think of.
Yeah.
What is one small shift that anybody could take, like right now, in order to start heading towards this whole self-care and especially food?
Yeah. So for me, as a registered dietitian and a holistic health educator, I could talk to somebody about all those little specifics around nutrition, but from a big picture standpoint around holistic health, really connecting ourselves to our mind, body, spirit around food. We often eat on the go. We get overwhelmed. We're so incredibly busy, but the primitive aspect of just sitting down at a family table and sharing a meal with somebody is one of the best steps I think anybody can take to reconnect themselves to their food experience.
I think about growing up, and I had a mom that didn't work outside of the home for quite a while. So, our meals, there was just no other way around. Our meals was we all sat down and ate. So I could see why that would be a really good, tiny shift in order to start, thinking about, how, in order to step into the power of our potential. So I could see how that would be. So,
Yeah.
So are you ready to shift now? What are you going to do to step into the power of your potential? One thing you can do right now is click the link below and be on our list to be one of the first people that will be notified when my book comes out on June 21st. So Jonathan, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.